Celtic fans have their moment. Boston wins it, 111-89.
You know, we did enough defensively. We were just awful offensively tonight.
Tomorrow night, the purple and gold get back up off the floor and welcome the Orlando Magic to downtown L.A.
I mean, listen, sometimes you got to make shots, and they made timely shots, and we didn't give ourselves a good chance on offensive end. I think defensively, we held serve as long as we could, but offensively, we didn't give ourselves a good chance.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute. When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
And all new Lakers Talk is on right now.
Here's Andy Kamenetsky.
What is up, Laker fans? It's Andy Kamenetsky, Lakers Talk, ESPN LA 710. Thank you to everybody who is listening. Thank you to everybody who is watching. We move all over the place, Lakers Talk, because 710 is the home of the Lakers. We are the home of the Rams, of the LA Kings, USC, of draft coverage, of your random bowl, like all sorts of different events that are carried, games, live coverage, right here on 710 ESPN, which means we at Lakers Talk, me, DeAndre, Funchy, we become the traveling circus all over the time of day, all over the day of the week, and you are always here, and it is always appreciated. I'm a mess, Funchy. Like, I'm a literal mess. Look at this. I noticed right before, like 10 seconds before we went live, a pen of mine apparently exploded. And I got ink all over my hands. I've got it on the top of my laptop. I've got it in some of my notes. Like, I am a literal damn mess. Just like the – thank you, DeAndre. DeAndre
I was
actually
about to do that for you.
DeAndre actually has to leave early tonight. He can't be part of the show because of a conflict, but in his final act of kindness towards me, he's bringing me some Lysol wipes. It is very appreciated. I am a damn mess, just like the Lakers were a damn mess.
Was it a Sharpie?
No, it was like a Bic.
Oh,
it was just your garden variety Bic that somehow exploded. And like, look at these notes they got for the YouTube channel watching right now. They got stains all over it. My hands got stains all over it. An absolute,
like you're doing fingerprinting in jail.
It is. Like I don't know what I'm in for. I don't know what I got booked for. I have no idea how long this stretch could be. I don't know if I have to plead out. I have no idea what's going on. I just know I am a mess, just like the Lakers were a mess yesterday. 111-89 loss to the Celtics in L.A. on a day where Pat Riley, of all people, gets honored with a statue. We're obviously going to get into both the game and the statue itself. Riley, the latest enshrined in what is becoming, this is really cool, essentially like a Lakers museum outside Crypto.com Arena in the LA Live Plaza. Pat Riley joining the likes of Kobe and Shaq and Kareem and Magic and Elgin Baylor and Chick Hearn, plus the stars of other sports. But the Lakers do the most dominating of that space. Who will be next after Pat Riley? Who should be next? Who are some of the names that I know will be debated, their worthiness? We will talk about those guys, including the elephant in the room, LeBron, because he is, I think, in a lot of ways, in terms of current players or more modern players, the one that is debated the most. The Lakers hired a new president of business operations, Lon Rosen, while the current job, to the best of my knowledge, is still being held by Tim Harris. I'm not sure if Tim Harris is still actually doing the job, because what was originally reported was that he told his staff that he would be done at the end of
that's what I saw from a memo or something,
right,
or just
right.
Something from social media.
So I'm not exactly sure what is going on with this. Lon Rosen is in and of himself a very logical, predictable, and I think good hire, but there's a lot to sort out with this, both what it means right now and for the future. So Ramona Shelburne going to drop by at 6:30 to break this down. She knows the inner workings of the Lakers front office as well as anybody. Going to talk a little DeAndre Aton He came up during today's practice in El Segundo. I was there. Jaxson Hayes, by the way, is now doubtful for tomorrow's game against the Magic, which can be heard right here on 710 ESPN. DeAndre Aton, because Jaxson Hayes, it seems like is not going to play. He only played 5 minutes against the Celtics, right ankle injury. JJ said the imaging showed a bruise. He was hopeful that Jaxson would be listed as questionable. And I think with some hope that this would be a day-to-day, not particularly long absence. If an absence at all, it's seeming like it's going to be at least one game, which puts more of a spotlight on DeAndre Ayton. And 2026 has not been very good for DeAndre. He was a topic of conversation in practice, so we'll get into that. Plus, get into your calls, 213-799-0139. 213-799-0139 if you want to call in. You want to talk about last night, if you want to talk about the Riley statue, if you want to talk about the Lakers' offense, which was really what let down the team last night. If you want to talk about Austin Reeves, his struggles in yesterday's game has sparked the latest round of conversation about whether or not he can really be as big of a part of the future with Luka moving forward. Is he the right piece to be a part of that foundation? Whatever you want to weigh in on, 213-799-0139. But we begin, of course, with yesterday's debacle. Funchy, you were in the building for that. How long did it take before the vibe, you could start palpably feeling, okay, this has shifted, folks is getting pissed?
I would say, let's say, the 4-minute mark of the third quarter.
Yeah. You know what? That actually coincides very well with the third T, JJ Redick. Austin Reeves, Marcus Smart, and JJ Redick all got technical fouls, complaining in one way or another about the way the game was being called, bizarre non-calls with goaltending, physicality allowed in the Lakers' minds on both ends by the Celtics.
Yes, Laker fans, a lot of missed calls.
Right. And look, there were some missed calls in this game. But make no question about this. The bigger problem was how the Lakers reacted to this, not what was or was not getting called. And this game, what really bothered me the most about this loss, obviously you never like seeing the Lakers lose at all. And it's yet another loss against a team above 500. The Lakers are now 11-14 on the season against teams above 500. That does not at least potentially bode well for what they're going to be doing in the playoffs or how long they will last, because those are all going to be the best of the best, and the Lakers have not looked good against those teams. But and the offense was really bad in this game. Like, I know the Lakers, the defense is the thing people focus on the most, but in reality, the defense was fine in this game. It was not perfect, but they held Boston to below their averages, and other than Peyton Pritchard, who went off for 30 points, most of the Celtics were held to inefficient percentages. Like Jaylen Brown had 32 points, but it was, I believe, 10 of 28 from the field. It was mostly getting to the line. Like he had close to a triple-double, and I thought he had a good game, and Jaylen Brown's having a hell of a season, but really the defense was fine enough. The offense went into the crapper. But beyond all of that, it was the way Boston absolutely physically manhandled the Lakers in this game. They pushed around the Lakers from start to finish, and they dictated the terms of engagement. They dictated the style of play this would be. They set the terms of how the game would be called by the refs. And rather than make a clear effort to match that physicality, like to say, all right, this is the kind of game we're going to play, we are taking it directly to these guys. We are going to match this blow for blow. So either A, we start getting away with the exact same stuff as Boston, or we start putting the refs in a position where they have to call more stuff, because you can't keep calling us, for example, for off-arm offensive fouls without calling Jaylen Brown for some. And to be clear, Jaylen Brown got away with some. But rather than match the physicality of Boston Again, whether just to ratchet up their own physicality or to get the refs to revert back to their own terms, the way they wanted to play, they instead focused on complaining about it. Like Austin Reeves and Marcus Smart got technical fouls in the exact same second of the second quarter, the 7:12 mark remaining in the first half. Like not even a second of game time play elapsed. Like Austin Reeves got a tech arguing on, he said, on behalf of Marcus Smart, although he looked like he was getting frustrated by some non-calls of his own. Then Marcus Smart kept talking to the refs and talking to the point where, I mean, ref gave him a lot of leeway. Like the ref really allowed Marcus Smart to say his piece and then eventually just gave him a shut the bleep up tech. And I felt like at that point, the Lakers lost this game. 7:12 in the second quarter, that is when the Lakers lost this game. Because at that point, they were completely on tilt. They got in their own heads. They allowed Boston to bother them to the point where they were completely taken out of what they were doing. And look, Boston is a really good team. No Laker fan likes hearing this. Boston may just be a better team than them this year, period. And in and of itself, that's fine. This happens. The Lakers are not going to be the best team in the league every year. But how you react to this stuff, the culture that you look to set in these moments, it matters. And this was a game that, like many other games during this season, we've seen the Lakers and, frankly, JJ, focus too much on the way the game is getting called. Even again, acknowledging the refs made some pretty bizarre mistakes and not focusing on creating the game that they want to play, setting the terms of the game that they want to play. Coming up, I want to play James Worthy's reactions after this game on Spectrum Sportsnet. He really called them out for how they reacted to this. Also get into the offense, which JJ and all the players said really fell apart and was really what ultimately did them in terms of that side of the floor and why they lost this game. And this is an offense that has not been as good as everybody expected, what they thought it would be on paper, led by Luka, LeBron, and Austin. Get into all that coming up next. Again, your calls 213-799-0139 if you want to weigh in. Ramona Shelburne at 6:30. Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetsky, 710 ESPN.
All gas, all Lakers.
Tomorrow night, the spotlight shines bright at Crypto.com Arena. The Los Angeles Lakers are ready to defend the house against the high-flying Orlando Magic.
Here's Luka. Long three. It's good.
The Lake Show Battle the Magic. Coverage begins tomorrow at 6 p.m.
The Lake Show lives here. 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
John Ireland here. Are you sore? If you are active, you work out, play golf, tennis, soccer, football, basketball, are you a runner? Do you bike or exercise regularly? If you do, you need this recovery product. Go to this website, iSpotActive.com. iSpotActive.com. They make compression wear with pockets. It's wearable. Ice cryotherapy. The long sleeve shirt has 8 flexible gel packs that fit in pockets, upper back, lower back, elbows. It's form-fitting, moisture wicking, doesn't stick to your body. There's no polyester to make you sweat. If you love to do what you do what you love with iSpot Active. Go to that website, iSpotActive.com. Everybody I know that has bought one of these things truly loves it. No more strapping on ice bags or trips to the cryo place where you got to drop $50 every time you do it. Ice and go. It's wearable. Ice cryotherapy. Get yours today. You won't be sorry at iSpotActive.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-568-2790. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-568-2790. That's 800-568-2790. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-568-2790.
You never know what you're going to get when you wake up with Sedano and Cap.
Socks are really your backup toilet paper. If you are in a public restroom and there is no toilet paper,
and you realize too late,
there's only one thing to do, George. You take off your shoe, you take off your sock.
Oh, I never would have thought of that, Guppy.
Socks are really your backup toilet paper, just so everybody knows.
It's the morning show with Sedano and Cap. Weekdays starting at 7 a.m. on ESPN LA.
710 ESPN.
The radio home of the purple and gold and the home of Lakers talk. Things got physical versus the Celtics last night.
Yeah, I mean, there's a level of frustration. You want to, stand up for your teammates, but also just, I know he elbowed him in the face. He might have fouled him before.
But in the end, LeBron and the Lakers weren't able to take control of the game.
Yeah, we never hit that run. We never hit that run. We never made that one shot where it felt like, this is the time. When we got down 6 or whatever, they found a way to make a shot or found a way to get fouled and kind of change the momentum, change the rhythm again. So
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
More Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetsky rolls on.
I see what you did there. Let's get physical, Lakers. Let's get physical. Channel the spirit of the late, great Olivia Newton-John. By the way, I remember when she died, and it was obviously very sad. Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetsky, 710 ESPN. Because, she was one of those people that was universally beloved in the industry. I never heard a bad word about Olivia Newton-John. But I saw somebody tweeted out a gif of, remember at the end of Grease where she and John Travolta
flying in the car,
up towards the sky. I was like, oh my God, you're killing me. I was like, I'm actually getting misty seeing that.
According to my mom, when Olivia Newton-John died, it was like the Pope dying.
Man, I'm telling you, she was truly beloved. Everybody really and plus, she had a very public, her breast cancer battle was very public. And it lasted a while. So I think people were invested in rooting for her. But yeah, let's get physical. Do it for Olivia. Again, about 6:30 or so, we're going to talk to Ramona Shelburne about Lon Rosen being hired officially as the president of business operations for the Lakers. What does this mean moving forward, including, is he on the job now? By the way, too, he's still listed on the Dodgers masthead on the website. Is he working 2 jobs? I have a lot of questions. And by the way,
side gig, okay?
Yeah. By the way, I think Lon Rosen's a good hire. I just have a lot of questions from this. But in the meantime, though, the Lakers lose last night yesterday afternoon against the Celtics. On the day Pat Riley's statue was unveiled. It was a great ceremony both before the game and at halftime, emceed, of course, by Magic Johnson. It was just tailor-made for stuff like that. We're going to get into, in the second hour, some statue talk. I want to hear from people who they think should be the next statue for the Lakers, will be the next statue, who maybe should not be. If you think the name could come up, I want to hear about that. 213-799-0139. If you're holding right now, I will get to you. But I mentioned how, more than anything, what bothered me about last night's loss to the Celtics was the way Boston dictated the terms of physicality in this game and how much, frankly, the Lakers got on tilt over it. And around the 7-minute mark of the second quarter, that's when Marcus Smart and Austin Reeves both got teased. I think the Lakers fell apart from there, never recovered. James Worthy on Spectrum Sportsnet had some pretty strong words about this in the postgame sessions.
No heart. Weak. No heart, weak. And it's post All-Star, and we talked about what they needed to do before All-Star. I think they didn't achieve what they wanted to there. So now you get a break and they come back. Clipper game, okay. That was a tough game. They won. But tonight, this afternoon, was weak. It's the Boston Celtics. Okay, no Tatum. You're at home. You're in fifth place. You're trying to move up. You show really, to me, no respect for the uniform. Okay, when you come out and you get out rebounded, offensive rebound after offensive rebound, Pritchard, Jaylen Brown, you can sniff out weakness. Okay, when you do that, you can just dominate. That's what they did. They've got to decide who they want to be.
I want to stay on that quote. They got to decide who they want to be coming up next. But it's interesting, like when James talked about offensive rebound after offensive rebound, the Celtics got 9 in this game, which by their averages are below average. Granted, they shot almost 50% from the field, but still below average for them. But they won the overall rebounding battle, and they got 17 second chance points, meaning basically every second chance point, every offensive rebound that they got, mathematically, I'm guessing they came pretty close to scoring on. Like they cashed in on it because 17 points on 9 offensive rebounds, you can do the math. That's pretty close to cashing in on all of them. So I want to get to that quote from James Worthy. They got to decide who they are. But before then, Solomon in Lake Balboa. You're on Lakers Talk. What's up, Solomon?
Hey, I'm good, Andy. Thank you so much.
Sure.
I'm still upset from last night, and maybe I shouldn't be. You know why? Because all the Boston Celtics did, was expose the Lakers for who they are. Every flaw of this team was exposed last night. They got 3 superstars. Problem is, each one is a duplicate of the other. They're ISO one-on-one players. You don't have a team, you have a collection of superstars, okay? And that doesn't help. Going forward, also, about toughness, Luka, if you're going to be the leader, you show them, you stop this nonsense of showing up referees every time you think you don't get a call, or even if you do get fouled. Stop standing there like a statue, like a prima donna, while your team goes down the court, and then now they're down 5-4, and the other team scores a bucket. Not a good look. Self-destructive. You think you're going to get calls in the future from referees? No, because they know you're just a whiner and they're tired of you. So you said defensively they were okay. Yeah, they probably still can improve there. And offensively, what are they? Who are they? The Boston Celtics showed you a team. And like I told you, the Lakers right now, they don't seem to be a team.
I appreciate the call there, Solomon. There's others I want to get to, but I appreciate it. I definitely want to touch on the offense because, again, for all the talk of the Lakers and defense and how they do not profile on paper to be a good defensive team at all, and for most of the season they have been somewhere between bottom third to bottom 5 defensively, depending on the metrics that you're specifically talking about. I do think in this game, the defense was not the problem. It was not perfect by any stretch, but I don't think it was a problem either. Other than Peyton Pritchard, who went off, everybody else was held to inefficient scoring numbers. Even like Jaylen Brown had to go to the line. Like, I think they did a good job making him work, if nothing else. Offensively, though, this team is not nearly as good as everybody expected that it would be, that everybody thought that they would be on paper when your foundation is Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, LeBron James. And I think Solomon hit on something that I know I want to talk about over the course of the next hour and a half. The idea of redundancy with Luka and Austin and LeBron. And I think it is one of the issues this team has offensively. Like, one of the flaws that is, it's an aspect of them that reflects how they are much more of a concept on paper than a reality on the court. Luka, Austin, and LeBron are all very similar players in terms of the way that they run an offense, the way that they generate their own points, the way that they generate points for others. Like, they're all talented at it. They all have high basketball IQs. Like, they're both capable of making, above average or, to the, in the case of Luka and LeBron, like elite, some of the best passes in the league. You know, all three of them can get to the line. Like, all three of them are capable of doing a lot of the same things. And in theory, that should triple down on a bunch of different strengths and make them really difficult to guard. The problem is, though, I think they're very similar and too similar. Like, who of the three of them do you think of as a guy that thrives off ball? To me, the answer is none of them. Like, and that's not to say that they can't play off ball at all. Like, I think LeBron has made a sincere effort to be off ball more. I think Austin will do whatever you ask of him, and you want the ball in Luka's hands more than anybody else. But none of them really thrive without the ball. None of them thrive on a regular basis moving without the ball. Like, you'll see those transition opportunities that you set up for LeBron or the cuts for LeBron, and like, those are things you can do, but they're very similar players. And in the meantime, too, one of their similarities, and this was something that happened to their detriment, it became a real problem last night against the Celtics, all three of them can have a tendency to not move the ball when things aren't going well, or when they like the ISO matchup a little bit too much, or maybe they even feel insulted that a team will look to guard them straight up. Like, whatever it is, like whatever is fueling this, some of this may be them just reading a defense, deciding this is the best way to attack it. But all three of them can be prone to not moving the ball. And when that happens, the offense becomes predictable. I think it becomes predictable to guard. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying that makes it easy to guard. Like, Luka's not easy to guard. Bron's not easy to guard. Austin's not easy to guard. But I think it becomes predictable. And this is not a team that can afford to be predictable. I think it also leaves the role players underutilized to whatever degree you think they can flourish. Real quick before we break, Avante and Bellflower. You're on Lakers Talk. What's up, Avante?
Hey, what's going on, VK?
Hey, good, man.
How you doing, man? Yeah, so just to piggyback off of, off of last night's game, obviously with Jaylen Brown's push-offs that the refs are not even counting as much or calling, that's been trending a lot lately for this push-off. Sometimes the refs will call it, sometimes they won't. And it's obvious calls, too, from the push-off, so that's a cheat on him. And for the offense for the Lakers not being consistent other than LeBron, Luka, and AR, we need other guys to be more consistent on our offense. And for Luka and I guess LeBron too sometimes too when the foul's being called, like okay, the foul was called, but you guys got to get back in the game. Like, everybody's already cherry picking down the court, and y'all just looking around doing just look at the ref. Focus on the ball. Get back on defense, and just get back on defense.
Yeah, I appreciate.
Worry about the calls later.
Yeah, I appreciate the call there, Avante. Like, I understand the Lakers' frustration last night. Like, I do think there were some calls where they got hosed. Like, the refs were missing some obvious calls, like the goaltending. You know, JJ he said he got a ruling on the second one with hit his hand through the basket that, according to letter of the law, because it didn't interfere with the actual shot itself, that's not a goaltend. But there was one blatantly obvious missed goaltend against LeBron. But you got to play. Like, yeah, Jaylen Brown got away with some push-offs. You know what? Push off yourself. Like, do the same thing as them. Force the refs to either dial this back or allow yourself to get away with more. But either way, what you can't do is just get in your own heads about it. As mentioned before, Lon Rosen has been hired as president of business operations for the Lakers, a very big front office move, like really the first of what has felt like a Mark Walter hire moving forward. What does this all mean? We're going to talk about all of this with Ramona Shelburne. Momo will be joining next, 710 ESPN.
All gas, all Lakers.
Tomorrow night, the spotlight shines bright at Crypto.com Arena. The Los Angeles Lakers are ready to defend the house against the high-flying Orlando Magic.
Here's Luka. Luka, long three. It's good.
The Lake Show Battle the Magic. Coverage begins tomorrow at 6 p.m.
The Lake Show lives Here, 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
Yo, I'm your old basketball. Haven't seen you out on the courts in a while. Why not pass me over to Goodwill? Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. And that's a slam dunk. Donate today. Hey, I got next.
To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, please visit Goodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Out on the course, they're the PGA Tour's best players. But in the arena, they're prime time. And Season 2 of TGL presented by SoFi is back with lights, cameras, action. We're talking big moments, big personalities, big names in the stands, all on the big screen. Big-time matchups with shot clocks, hammer drops, timeouts, overtime, and playoffs. It's city versus city, squad versus squad. The sport just hits different under the lights. It's TGL presented by SoFi. Keep up. It's golf. Tune into every match. Only on ESPN.
This is Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetsky.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute. When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
Now back to Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetsky.
Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetsky, ESPN LA 710, and to quote David Letterman, my next guest needs no introduction. Ramona Shelburne, she covers all things sports, in particular LA sports and the NBA, knows the Lakers front office dynamics as well as anyone. So I want to talk with her about the hiring of Lon Rosen, the transition away from Tim Harris on the heels of Joey and Jesse Buss being let go, and just the general direction things are heading right now. Momo, how are you?
I'm good. Oh, you want all the things, huh? You know all the tea?
Oh, Momo, I'm going to ask you to spill, baby. You are going to be spilling. All right. Tim Harris, he'd been with the Lakers, for, I believe, for 35 years, various capacities, eventually president of business operations. Last week, it had been reported that Harris informed his staff this would be his last season. Then by the end of last week, the Lakers formally announced Lon Rosen had been hired to become the new president of basketball ops. And this in and of itself raises some questions. First and foremost, is Tim Harris still on the job? Like, is Lon on the job? Are they both on the job? Do they have, like, side-by-side desks, like office version of the movie Step Brothers?
Well, first of all, these are people that have known each other for decades. Okay. So this is not... this isn't awkward from what I can tell. I don't know if Tim's still in the office. I guess I looked for him at the game last night and I didn't see him, but that doesn't mean he wasn't there. It doesn't, he usually stands over, I know which corner he stands in, kind of where the visiting team bench is, and that corner is usually where he sits or stands or whatever. But like when I walked over there, I didn't see him at that moment, but I think he's still there because the letter that everybody got last week, with the season ticket renewals, and then I think there were some, charges for playoff games and stuff like that. That's where they kind of did the first price hike. That was actually from Tim Harris. Like Tim sent that email, or that came from him. So he's working enough to put his name on that.
Wow, what a tough job for one of your last things. You become the face of the price hike.
Right? I mean, there was a sell in there too. I think it was like, Luke was amazing and Austin is amazing, and you should, you got to pay more. Too bad, it's LA.
How much
inflation? I don't know.
I know. Like seriously, like I'm Tim Harris. I'm making that Lon Rosen's email. Like I'm going to make him the face of this. How much, okay, like I mentioned before, Tim has been with the organization for literally decades. He'll be turning 65 at the end of this year. This is often when people make life or professional changes. How much of this was Tim's decision to make independent of the sale, as opposed to, I know there are people who feel like this was Tim getting ahead of an inevitable firing more gracefully?
How do I can't answer for him, okay?
Sure.
But I would say, did the sale probably expedite things? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be my guess. It expedited something. What my general sense is the Lakers make a lot of money, but the guys from Mark Walter's group, they've been doing this with the Dodgers for a while now, and they know how to Dodgerize things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you Dodgerize things when you have Shohei and Mookie and Freddie, and you win back-to-back titles. People, they don't like paying more for those tickets, but they do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is kind of the Dodgerization here of like, okay, this is Los Angeles. And by the way, I'm pretty sure that what the Lakers have been charging, and I don't buy tickets myself because I go to them when I'm working,
Right.
And if I buy them, I'm probably getting them on a secondary ticket market, right? Just for a family when they come to town or whatever. But from what I've heard anecdotally, I don't think the Lakers charge that much compared to what other teams charge for season tickets. Like, I think the Knicks tickets are like really expensive. I've heard that Clippers tickets are really expensive, like season tickets and especially courtside seats at the Clipper games are really
Well, they got to
expensive.
pay for that wall, Momo.
I mean,
Doesn't
I think
pay
the wall
for
pays for
itself.
itself, right? No, it does. It does. I think people. That's the part that's always, that the wall are the diehards. But
That's true.
I heard I think the Lakers season
You gotta pay
ticket
for the
price has
toilets.
been relatively. I would not say affordable. They're certainly very expensive, but I don't think they were really expensive in the past. Now they're just going to be really expensive, right? Like that's the, I think they went from being like, kind of mid-market in terms of what they charge. There's some other stuff that let me say it broadly because I don't want to get too in the weeds of some of the stuff I think they're going to do, but there's a lot of times when you go to a Laker game, you're buying tickets on the secondary ticket market, right? So that's somebody else's season seat. Probably a ticket broker has those. And then they make a profit off that, right? And the reason that's important is because then you can have, sellout every night because the ticket brokers are incentivized to sell those seats. If you keep those seats away from the ticket brokers or you hold certain amounts back, then you could have empty seats, like if your team sucks or people don't want to pay it. And if you notice, the Lakers always have a sellout. So what does that tell you of how they're handling these? They're never, they're not all season seats. The broker, the secondary market is making a lot of money off of them. I think that what you should read this as is mostly them deciding we're going to make that money.
Right.
Like if it's selling for a premium, we're going to sell them for a premium, not necessarily on the secondary market.
Talking with Ramona.
Yeah, did that work?
Yeah,
I don't know if you can follow me there. Yeah.
No, I can.
Yeah.
Like you, I also go to games on media credentials, so a lot of these inner workings and the rigmarole for getting tickets is frankly none of my business. Talking with Ramona Shelburne, obviously knows all the inner workings of the Lakers front office. Her work from ESPN LA, and obviously right here on 710 ESPN. Lon Rosen is still listed right now on the Dodgers website as Executive VP and Chief Marketing Officer. I know it's February. Nothing needs to be officially updated. Everyone's busy. But do you have any idea what his plan is with the Dodgers moving forward?
Yeah, I've spoken to him about it. He's still going to work for the Dodgers. Like I don't know that he's going to have the same title, but I think that title is relative. The title is, look, Andy, what is your title?
Here?
Yeah, I mean, do you have one? Like,
dude on speed
I have a
dial?
title. Yeah, mine is senior writer. I mean, but it doesn't encompass everything that I think Lon's still going to work for the Dodgers, but his primary focus will be the Lakers.
Okay.
So he's the Dodgers. It's not like he's handing that off and they're going to go hire someone to replace him right away. I think it's more that they've set everything up there. Like everything it can run. Maybe they will hire somebody underneath to handle some of the stuff, but I think he still oversees it. The best way to think about this is kind of like you need to think of the Dodgers and Lakers now the same way we think of, the infrastructure around the Commanders and the Sixers and the Devils, right? Like Josh Harris owns all three of those franchises. And so when I remember I was doing a story on Josh Harris when he bought the Commanders, and it was like an interesting, at that point it was a record purchase. And so I flew out to DC, and it was kind of fun. I went to an NFL game. I never get to do, like that from a media perspective, right? NFL is like the one sport I can go to as a fan.
Right.
And I went out and I was covering Commanders preseason game, and I was dealing with a lot of the same people I deal with the Sixers. Like the PR guy was the same guy, he just goes back and forth. He's just, like they like the top level people are probably going to be a lot of the same people because that's the one the boss likes. So there's a guy named Tad Brown who does business for a lot of, I think it's Harris Blitzer Entertainment. It's like Josh Harris and David Blitzer. They own all three of those teams, and to some extent, some of them have different stakes in each team, et cetera. But that entertainment group. So it's going to be eventually the Walter Sports Group. Sorry, is it the Walter Group? Yeah, no, sorry, the Walter Group, not the Walter Sports Group, the Walter Group. I don't think that's up and running yet.
Okay.
I think it's an idea, and it will be something. It's starting to happen, but that's not completely up and running. And so that's why you see like Lon Rosen has this job, but he's also going to work for the Dodgers. Farhan Zaidi is a special assistant to Mark Walter, but he also has a big job with the Dodgers. Like there's going to be a lot of interconnectedness between the two franchises now.
That actually, Ramona, leads me to the next question I wanted to ask you. Like, just full stop, I think Lon Rosen is a very qualified, very logical, in a lot of ways very predictable hire for president of business ops for the Lakers. And I think he's a good hire, like just so that is established from the jump. The one bit of hesitation I have about Lon Rosen, and it's not really about Lon, it's more of a 5,000-foot view thing. Like, I know he has a connection to Mark Walter, and this is a Mark Walter hire. It's not a Jeannie Buss hire. But at the same time, Lon Rosen has established ties to the Lakers. Like, he literally began his career in this industry with the Lakers going back to, like, Showtime as an intern. And the Lakers as an organization, in my opinion, have been starved for decades for more outside perspectives. They've just had too many people whose perspectives were either largely or solely influenced by their time in El Segundo. Do you think that Mark Walter, do you get a sense that Mark Walter will value the idea of outside perspectives? Again, independent of Lon, who...
Yeah, I get the question. I mean, obviously, look, did you watch Winning Time?
Yeah.
I mean, Lon's character is portrayed in Winning Time.
I know.
They all started together. Like,
I know.
Lon Rosen, Jeannie Buss, Linda Rambis, they all started early days at the Forum. I think Lon might have been there first, actually. He started under Jack Kent Cooke. I think it was the year before, and I don't even know if it was like a real. I don't know that he like applied for an internship. Like, we have interns at the station. They apply. They go through a whole intern process. I think he just like snuck in one day, and then like they made him an intern. Like, he was at USC and just like showed up and started working there. And like that, he understood the transition from Jack Kent Cooke to Jerry Buss. He became Magic Johnson's longtime agent. I think he still is his agent. And he had a whole other career as an agent. Like, it's not like he only worked in El Segundo. I think his involvement with the Lakers was mostly through Magic. Sure. And once he became his agent, he worked with Dan Fagan at one point. I know he was with that agency. So he's one of those guys. I wouldn't lump him in with the sort of insular El Segundo thinking.
I wouldn't necessarily either. I'm just thinking about.
I know the ties that you're referring to. Look, they've been friends for 40 years, right? But like he's had a whole career outside of the Lakers.
Yeah.
Not just with Magic, but as an agent. With the Dodgers. I don't think Mark Walter hires somebody to run business without thinking like this guy can produce results. Like he knows how they did this with the Dodgers. They're just going to replicate or try to replicate things with the Dodgers. And I will say this, I think there's a lot of new perspectives coming into how the Lakers are run right now. and it's mostly from Farhan Zaidi and Andrew Friedman.
Okay. I mean, look, those guys don't have Laker ties. That gets into the territory that I'm talking about. I'm talking with Ramona Shelburne, Momo, Momo. But like, I just feel like I would love the idea of somebody that gets hired for an important job, whether front office or alongside Lon, whatever, but has to get directions to El Segundo because he or she really doesn't know LA at all. But
like they got to run a background check. I get it.
But they've spent time in the industry with other teams, just a variety of perspective. That's all.
Fair.
Again, Lon's a good hire.
I think it's a good. I mean, and like I've how many decades have I known him? I can't even. I'm older, so it's probably a long time. But I feel like I haven't known him as much as a Lakers guy. He's been a Dodger guy for 15 years, right? And before that, he was an agent, and so you'd call him for other agency things. I forget all of his different clients, but he had several agents, So I wouldn't say that he is. I know what you're saying. There is a lot of connective tissue there, obviously, but I don't know that that's bad. I as long as you're getting some fresh perspective, it doesn't have to be every role.
Oh, absolutely. Doesn't have
you know
to be
what I mean?
Everyone. I meant more just the idea of valuing the concept of fresher perspective. That's all.
And I think the guy is. The Dodgers. The Dodgers have the most expensive payroll in baseball, like so much money, and a lot of that is, Mark Walter's financial wizardry and the way he came up with some of the ways they've structured things. But a lot of it is just the way that Lon's business office has sold those sponsorships, and they own Japan now. Like the sponsorship money they get from Japan, it's not just because Shohei's there and Yama and all of it. It's because they're on the team and they brought existing relationships, but they had a whole strategy of how they close those deals to the point where those players pay for themselves and some. And I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if you see the Lakers do something similar in different parts of the world because they have some European players on the team, right? Obviously Luka, and they're obviously a very popular franchise in Asia already.
Right.
So you trade on those existing relationships that you have from the Dodger time. I just think my general feeling around the league in talking to other owners and even in talking to Mark Walter over the years, I think that the Lakers have been seen as a sleeping giant in terms of how much money they can make. Like they make a lot of money, but they can make a whole lot more.
Right.
And I think they're about to do that.
Well, I absolutely am down for that. Talking to Ramona Shelburne. And last question I have for you. It's a theory that I've been thinking about for a while, and I want to run past you, not even asking you to confirm this unless you can, which would be awesome. But just does it make sense?
Okay.
People very commonly use Mark Walter's ownership of the Dodgers as a blueprint for how he'll own the Lakers and how he'll do everything with the Lakers. And one of the things that often gets pointed to was that Ned Colletti remained general manager for a couple of years before eventually getting moved to a different job, which people have often cited as why they think Rob is automatically going to be safe for a couple years, just because this is what Mark did before. I have wondered before, and I don't mean this necessarily like I think Rob is imminently getting fired, but something I've wondered about before. When Mark Walter and that group first bought the Dodgers, it was like a decade and a half ago, to the best of my knowledge, Mark Walter was pretty new in his career in owning sports teams and being in this industry. And I am guessing recognized that there was a lot he didn't know. And before he made changes, wanted to learn the things he didn't know so he could make whatever changes informed. 15 or so years have since passed, other teams that he's owned. Between that and the fact that he was a minority owner for several years with a right of first refusal if the bus is ever sold, meaning I am guessing he's paid a lot of attention, has formed a lot of opinions. He was closer to the Lakers than the Dodgers. Do you think less time could take place before Mark Walter made larger changes? Not predicting that he will, but just that it could happen.
I don't know that I would say less time. I look, Mark runs a giant corporation, and this is a subsidiary of that. Like, he's off doing some AI stuff. He's off doing investment stuff. He has so many things on his plate business wise. And so I think like, is this he's not like quitting his day job like Joe Lacob quit his day job and he's the full-time owner of the Warriors. That's his job.
Right.
That's not Mark. Mark is really into delegating things. And I think he's gotten a look under the hood at the business the last, however long he's been the minority owner, and then now that he's the majority owner, right? And he saw, a lot of what he saw under the hood was like, whoa, the financials here are good, and there's tremendous potential for growth. So when you're asking specifically about Rob Pelinka, my sense is, I'll tell you what my sense is. My sense is that what you're going to mostly see going forward is addition in the front office, beefing up, whether it's scouting, analytics, et cetera. I think that's the first big difference you're going to see. I don't know if I would say, my read. I'm from what I think they've already hired a few people.
Really?
In those smaller roles, like you not to the point where you put a press release out, but like I know they hired somebody good in the Sparks, but we should also count the Sparks too.
Yeah.
They've been they hired somebody good for the Sparks just to do front office stuff for them, analytics, et cetera. And I think that's kind of more, that's the way you should read it. I think Rob's fine. I don't see that anytime soon. I think he's done a good job in their eyes of, look, he pulled off the trade of the century.
Right.
Like, it's literally the trade of the century. Like, I don't know that you can just overlook that, that was just Nika. No, Rob pulled that off.
Oh, for sure.
We can quibble with some of the, Gabe Vincent signing or other things like that, or, but I think that they're all taking time to learn the difference between baseball and basketball and how you construct rosters and things like that. And they're being really smart at taking their processes towards that. So I would say you're going to see a lot more just beefing up and then once you do that, then you evaluate based on performance.
Well, no, and that makes sense just because, even if you think Rob Pelinka is the greatest, most underrated president of basketball ops across like the entire league, it's too big of a job for a front office that has been this small. It needs buffing out regardless. So, and by the way,
just scouting wise, it's just they got to beef those departments up. I know.
Absolutely.
It was a big family story and all the things there, but I don't even think that was the story. I think the story was just how little. I understand why it was a story, obviously, but I think they've just been. They really need to beef up those areas.
Absolutely.
And that's happening, or the processes are already the trains are rolling,
Absolutely. She is Ramona Shelburne. She is the best. Thank you very, very much, Momo.
Thanks,
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. Sorry I couldn't do the YouTube for you. I just got home with the kids, and I look kind of like a mess.
I told Reese, I was like, please tell her it is not necessary. I know,
I'm
I know what it is to raise children.
sitting in my car outside my house. I'm like, I don't know.
I knew what this was. I was like, please tell her not to worry about it. Thank you very much, Momo. I appreciate it.
You got it.
And there she is, Ramona Shelburne. Funchy is, without DeAndre, he can't do the sound effects, but appreciate Momo. When we come back, I want to get into why it matters, just the idea of buffing out the different departments. Also, Jaxson Hayes, his potential absence tomorrow against the Magic, what that means moving forward. Andy Kamenetsky, Lakers Talk, 710 ESPN.
Your heart works hard for you every day. February is American Heart Month, and it's a great time to check in on your heart health. Hey, it's Chris Morales, and Providence brings together some of the brightest minds in cardiac care, all focused on protecting what matters most, your heart. Their teams combine advanced treatments with compassionate, personal care right here in Southern California. So this month, take a step towards better health. Get moving, eat well, or schedule that checkup. Providence is here to support healthier hearts in every community. Learn more at providence.org/SoCalHeart.
Call Jacob. In a city full of stars, one number shines the brightest. Say it together with me. 800-345-6789.
That's the new way to call Jacob. Same lawyer, same city, same results, just easier to remember.
Call Jacob. Accident or injury, you know who to call.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob. 1-800-345-6789. Call Jacob.
This is Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetsky.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute. When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
Now back to Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetsky.
Again, thank you to Ramona Shelburne breaking down all the inner workings over in El Segundo. And it is time for the Lakers Talk Injury Report, brought to you by the Call Jacob Injury Hotline, the only number LA trusts after an accident. 800-345-6789. That is 800-345-6789. Incredibly easy to remember, which is super important if you are dealing with an accident and you're rattled and you're on tilt. You want at least one thing you can immediately wrap your head around, and that is 345-6789. 800-345-6789. Well, Funchy, it was 2 games, but the clean injury report era is dead. Long live the clean injury report era for the Lakers. Jaxson Hayes is on the injury report now. He is listed as doubtful after a right ankle injury. I actually didn't even notice that this happened yesterday against the Celtics. Like, he only played 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden it was being reported during the broadcast that Jaxson Hayes was in the locker room, and then he wasn't coming out, and it's looking like he is not going to play. JJ said during practice today that he hoped that he would be listed as questionable and sort of informally thought of as day-to-day. That's clearly, at least for now, not the case. Hopefully he doesn't miss more than one game, but in the meantime, without Jaxson Hayes, that puts an even brighter spotlight on DeAndre Aton. And that is unfortunate right now, or inconvenient, uncomfortable, however you want to put it, because basically since 2026 has rolled around, Jaxson Hayes has outplayed DeAndre Aton. Like, I think whether you're talking about the eye test, whether you're talking about some of the advanced metrics, like DeAndre's raw numbers are going to be better than Jaxson simply because he plays more minutes and he gets more shots. But if you look at, I think, some of the advanced ratings, like net rating and some of the overall impact, and then again, just the eye test, Jackson's been better than him. And I don't think Jaxson was about to displace DeAndre Aton in the starting lineup because I think he is better suited for a role as a backup. I also think the diminishing returns can be there the more minutes you play Jaxson, but the Lakers need to start reigniting DeAndre Aton. When the Lakers got off to a hot start this season and people thought maybe that they would end up kind of a sleeper team in the West, it's no coincidence that that was when DeAndre Aton was playing his best basketball. And he is not the only reason that the Lakers have scuffled over the last couple months or so. There's been a lot of things going on, injuries, probably some regression to the mean, all sorts of different things happening. But DeAndre Aton looking more like the guy that folks like DeAndre Hawkins were skeptical about, Dr. DeAndre Hawkins. They need DeAndre Aton, who we'll talk about more in the second hour. They need him to look more like that guy if the Lakers are going to try to take these next 26 games and make the most out of them heading into the playoffs. Again, the Lakers Talk Injury Report brought to you by the Call Jacob Injury Hotline, the only number LA trusts after an accident. 800-345-6789. That's 800-345-6789. Coming up, let's get in some happy news, some positive stuff that happened yesterday. Pat Riley got a statue. The ceremony was awesome, both before the game and during the game. Well-deserved. It also raises the question, who will be the next Laker legend who becomes part of that museum outside the building? Get into that coming up next. Let me hear your thoughts. 213-799-0139. If you're holding, I will get to you. Lakers Talk, 710 ESPN.
All gas, all Lakers.
Tomorrow night, the spotlight shines bright at Crypto.com Arena. The Los Angeles Lakers are ready to defend the house against the high-flying Orlando Magic.
There's Luka. Long three. It's good.
The Lake Show Battle the Magic. Coverage begins tomorrow at 6 p.m.
The Lake Show lives here. 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-372-2017. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-372-2017. 800-372-2017. 800-372-2017.
Hey, this is Rich Eisen.
And ESPN LA is the new home of the Rich Eisen Show in the Southland.
Let's go to Jimmy in San Antonio, one of our favorites. What's up, Jimmy?
¿Qué pasó, hermano?
What's up?
Hey. Man, Rich, people confuse you for Ryan Gosling, but not Josh Lucas. That's horrible.
The home of the Lakers. Now the home of the Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays 9 a.m. to noon, 710 ESPN. And always on the new ESPN LA app.
In LA, the spotlight always shines bright. Two of the game's most electrifying forces are leading the charge for the purple and gold. The power and legacy of the King.
Here come the Lakers on a fast break. LeBron down the middle, slam dunk.
The creativity and swagger of Luka.
Luka, another three. Good again!
Together they lead the Lake Show on the chase for banners. This is Lakers basketball on your home for the purple and gold, ESPN Los Angeles.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here, KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station. More Lakers talk with Andy Kamenetsky rolls on.
Before yesterday's game at Crypto.com Arena, the Lakers unveiled Pat Riley's statue.
The one thing about the loyal Laker Nation is it gets passed from one generation to the next, and then the kids, and then the grandkids, and the great-grandkids.
And LeBron James had some nice words for his former coach.
I mean, listen, one of the all-time greats to ever been a part of this league. Player, coach, executive, front office, everything. Obviously, what he did here for the Lakers organization in the 80s goes without saying, and rightfully so.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today. And all new Lakers Talk is on right now.
Back to Andy Kamenetsky.
Yesterday afternoon at least began with some shiny, happy people because everybody was excited to see Pat Riley get his very well-deserved statue, an absolute icon, a purple and gold legend. That took place before the game against the Celtics, which unfortunately was an absolute disaster, 111-89 loss, but not going to focus on that right now. We are going to talk about the Pat Riley statue and how awesome it was, how much Riley deserved it, who could potentially be the next person immortalized in bronze that is associated with the purple and gold. But before then, take a couple of your calls. My dude, Mitch, New Jersey. You're on Lakers Talk. What's up, Mitch?
What's up, NK?
Hey.
NK, did the sun come out at California this week?
Yeah, today's actually been nice. Today's been really nice.
Oh, lucky you. You heard about the East Coast.
Oh, yeah.
And the head source of the injury, the guys that had the plow was like 17 years out there. They stood me up, so I'm back to plow.
Oh.
I'm back to plowing and shoveling tomorrow.
Oh,
this will be
sorry
great.
to hear that, man.
Ooh. Hey, there's some things you can't control.
Nope.
Seems like the Lakers have a little injury. It only seem like the injuries the Lakers seems like with the Dodgers, and they overcame the injuries. They were a little lucky to win the World Series, but it's gonna be a lot more luck to get us beyond the first round this coming playoffs. It seems like we're playing 3-on-5. I mean, Smart doesn't deserve to start, I think. I know he plays good D. And Aton, and his backups, a couple of centers I mentioned last year, Koloko and Jemison, they couldn't be any better than Jaxson.
I think Jackson's I appreciate the call, Mitch. I actually think Jackson's been very good this season. I actually think one of the more under-discussed stories of the season has actually been Jaxson Hayes has played really well. Obviously, it would be nice if he was somebody that felt like more of a true starting option, and I don't think he is. But I actually think he has been better as a backup this season than
He's
was.
outplaying his contract right now, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's definitely outplaying his contract. I mean, it's a veteran's minimum. He's outplaying that. But I actually think, forget the idea of when he was a starter post-AD, and for a while it went well, but I think the limitations of Jackson's game began to show through as the season went along, and JJ obviously lost trust in him in the playoffs, maybe lost it to too much of a degree. But nonetheless, I think Jaxson Hayes is more of a backup in the NBA than a starter, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, a quality backup's important. He's been really good this season. Like, I actually think Jaxson has been a real bright spot this year.
He knows his role.
Yeah.
He knows his role and knows how to play well.
And I think the extra muscle that he put on has mattered. Like, he doesn't get pushed around in the same degree. He has more ability to use verticality, things like that. So I actually have no qualms with Jaxson. I hope he's back soon. Danny in Torrance, you're on Lakers Talk. What's up, Danny?
Hey, Kay.
Hey.
Always a pleasure, man.
Thanks, man.
To call into your show.
Thank you.
Hey, two things: player development and our next GM. And don't get me wrong, man. I've appreciated some of the little things that Pelinka has done, but there is no way that long-term he is the answer. So my question, one, is Sam Presti priable? Right? Walters did it with the Dodgers. He pried, it's slipping my mind, Tampa Bay. GM.
Andrew Friedman.
Friedman, yeah, right, which he was the best or one of the top two GMs in baseball when the Dodgers pried him. And I just feel Sam Presti, I mean, if you look at his draft picks, he's develops. Amazing. He is. So that's one thing. And then this leads me to my second point is player development. JJ emphasized, right, when he first got hired that player development was going to be on top of the list. And I know this is barely his second year, but there is not one single sign of any player being developed, whether it's Connect, whether it was Bronny, Coloco,
JHS
name a
last
couple
season.
other players. Yeah, exactly. I mean, dude, we only go 6 or 7 deep because he trusts nobody else. Right? You look at these other teams, I mean, they go 8, 9 players deep because they're developing players. And you can't give me the excuse that Oklahoma, yes, they're top players, right? They've chosen probably in the top 10, top 15. But if you go 4 through 8, 4 through 9 with OKC, those players are in the bottom of the first or in the second round.
I appreciate the call there, Danny. Thank you. There's a lot to get into, so I want to make sure there's time. The question about player development, I think, is interesting because, well, actually, you can tie this to Sam Presti. I would be stunned if the Lakers could get Sam Presti over here. He's got a great gig with the Thunder, and if nothing else, I would imagine that he wants to see this thing through. You know what I mean? Like, he has built himself a long runway.
Why would you want to leave that situation?
I don't know why.
No one wants to leave a situation. Unless, like, you're a player looking for more playing time or something.
Right.
Yeah.
And, well, I mean, I thought you meant Sam. Like, why would Sam Presti?
Oh, no, I'm just in general, dude.
Oh.
Why would you want to leave OKC unless, like, you're a player that's unhappy or something, even in a front office?
Well, the most important thing is the 3 most important players, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren. They're all locked up. Those 3 guys are all locked up under long-term contracts. So you've got that foundation while it's young, locked up, and you know that you're going to be working with them moving forward. And you've got guys like Cason Wallace and A.J. Mitchell and Topic. Like, you've got all of these young guys in the wings, plus a zillion draft picks that, you know, they've had misses like everybody else. Where have you gone, Poku? But for the most part, they're pretty good. They're pretty good.
Yeah, and I mean, going back to that caller, you got to have the assets to have players, to get these type of players.
So if I would imagine, unless Sam Presti is just dying to do this for a glamour market, he would want to see this thing through. Like maybe 5-7 years down the line, maybe Sam Presti would be looking for a different
after
challenge.
3 or 4 OKC championships.
Right.
I don't know.
Or just he saw the thing through. Like whatever its natural conclusion is, he decides, okay, I've done this here for a long time. I want to try this somewhere else. But I would imagine Presti wants to see this thing through, and he's got an incredible setup. I don't know why he'd want to leave. The piece, though, about player development, this is one of the areas where the Lakers' insistence on always trying to present themselves as contending, even when in reality it's more cosplaying contending than actually contending, and never wanting to ever take even a step back in order to take a step forward. And often, frankly, using their draft picks to offset some mistakes and offload some contracts and things like that. And to be fair, they used draft picks to get Anthony Davis. They used a draft pick to get Luka Doncic. They traded a few seconds, 2 or 3, I think, with Kendrick Nunn to bring in Rui Hachimura. Like that, obviously, that was a win of a deal. But they have not valued draft picks in a way that other organizations have, in part because they've never been a particularly patient player development-oriented organization. They've had development wins. I think Rui can be considered a player development win. He was a second contract guy, former lottery pick that didn't work out as well in Washington. He's become a much better player with the Lakers. Austin Reeves is a development success story. Like absolutely.
The ultimate, probably.
Yeah, I mean, he was undrafted, but the Lakers and his agent had come to an agreement that he was going to tell teams not to draft him so he could go in undrafted with the Lakers. They saw an opportunity. Like, that's a success. But they're not an organization that prioritizes development the way other players do or any type of long runway build because they're always about now. And that limits your options. And I think especially at a time where in this new CBA and at a time where there's such a premium on athleticism and speed and depth, like they're going to have to put more of a premium on that. And part of that premium includes patience.
How long have you been covering the Lakers?
This is, I want to say, like my 20th season.
In that 20 seasons, how many times have the Lakers tried to build with youth in the draft and blah, blah, blah?
Some people would say the kids era with Ingram and Lonzo and
other than that
Julius.
era.
See, but to me, that wasn't even them truly doing it in earnest. That, to me, was them kind of falling ass backward in the lottery picks. Because remember, they would often chase 8 seeds with Kobe post-Achilles on the roster and, bringing in people like Carlos Boozer and, Ronnie Price and, like, these veterans chasing 8 seeds. And, like, even Kobe's final season, there was more of a priority of getting Kobe through the season so he'd have his final game and be able to do the farewell tour. And the final game was a game for the ages, and Kobe's Kobe. Like, I understand doing that. But they put player development secondary that season. Like, they played one way with Kobe, one way without Kobe. When Kobe was there, they were playing in a way that wasn't as much about...
Was that D'Angelo Russell's rookie year?
It was D'Angelo Russell's rookie year and Larry Nance Jr.'s. Like, when they drafted Julius Randle, remember they won, remember the Carlos Boozer amnesty sweepstakes? Like, they brought in Carlos Boozer after they had just drafted a power forward with the 7th overall pick. I remember at the time, like, what are you doing? Like, and even post-Kobe, like the couple seasons before they eventually got LeBron, it seemed to me very transparent that they were much more about showcasing these guys, their young players, other than maybe Lonzo, who Magic clearly was enamored with, but all the other guys, it was much more about what can we eventually turn these guys into, as opposed to could they become a foundation. And look, they turned a bunch of those guys into Anthony Davis. They won a championship. Like, I'm not complaining about it as an isolated thing, but it is indicative of, I don't think they ever really value, like the last time I can think of that they valued a player that they drafted as a player was Andrew Bynum. Like, I think
long time ago.
Yeah. Like, that's the last time I feel like they truly, like, with a high pick, like 15 or higher, that they drafted, that they truly saw that guy as their guy, as opposed to the guy they're eventually going to turn into the guy. And I know they eventually turned him into Dwight Howard, but that was after, I think, like 6 seasons, something like that. Like, Andrew Bynum was part of 2 title teams, and they had opportunities to trade. And remember Kobe, when he demanded the trade and went on the radio and TV tour during the offseason, got caught in a random parking lot saying, ship Andrew Bynum's ass to New Jersey for Jason Kidd.
Remember that.
And they didn't. They believed in Bynum. Jim Buss, for all the crap he took as an exec, like, that was Jim Buss's thing. And Jim Buss on this thing ultimately ended up right with Andrew Bynum. But that's like the last time it's felt to me, other than, again, maybe Lonzo, specifically from Magic, that a young player felt to me like the organization was really devoted to him as a player, as opposed to who are they eventually going to flip. Again, we're going to get into, though, Pat Riley's statue. It was an awesome day, and also who you think could be the next statue recipient. 213-799-0139 if you want to weigh in. Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetsky, 710 ESPN.
All gas, all Lakers.
Tomorrow night, the spotlight shines bright at Crypto.com Arena. The Los Angeles Lakers are ready to defend the house against the high-flying Orlando Magic.
Here's Luka, long three. It's good!
The Lake Show Battle the Magic. Coverage begins tomorrow at 6 p.m.
The Lake Show lives here. 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change, home of the 15-minute drive-through oil change, is a proud sponsor of your ESPN LA Lakers radio network. For over 30 years, Valvoline Instant Oil Change has provided quick, convenient maintenance services for busy people like you. Oil changes, tire rotations, transmission care, and more. Drive in to your neighborhood Valvoline and let the expert technicians make sure your ride is in peak performance in about 15 minutes. Visit SoCalOilChange.com for locations and game-winning coupons.
Out on the course, they're the PGA Tour's best players. But in the arena, they're prime time. And Season 2 of TGL presented by SoFi is back with lights, cameras, action. We're talking big moments, big personalities, big names in the stands, all on the big screen. Big-time matchups with shot clocks, hammer drops, timeouts, overtime, and playoffs. It's city versus city, squad versus squad. The sport just hits different under the lights. It's TGL presented by SoFi. Keep up. It's golf. Tune into every match. Only on ESPN.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
In Los Angeles, greatness isn't an option. It's expected. From the skyhook of Kareem
Abdul-Jabbar with a skyhook
to the Showtime flair of Magic.
Magic fires for three. Got it at the buzzer. Magic hit a three-pointer.
To the relentless fire of the Mamba.
Bryant for the win.
This is a franchise built on icons. And now the story continues with the power and vision of LeBron.
Follow a 17-footer good again. LeBron has dialed back the clock.
And the next generation talent of Luka.
Luka, another three. Good again!
Different eras, same standard. Championship expectations.
Me, LeBron, and they are, I think we're the leaders of this group.
From the legends of yesterday to the superstars of right now, Lakers basketball lives here. ESPN Los Angeles.
Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetsky rolls on.
Before yesterday's game at Crypto.com Arena, the Lakers unveiled Pat Riley's statue.
The one thing about the loyal Laker Nation is that it gets passed from one generation to the next, and then the kids, and then the grandkids, and the great-grandkids.
And LeBron James had some nice words for his former coach.
I mean, listen, one of the all-time greats ever been a part of this league. Player, coach, executive, front office, everything. Obviously, what he did here for the Lakers organization in the 80s goes without saying, and rightfully so.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today. And all new Lakers Talk is on right now.
Back to Andy Kamenetsky.
Pop Life, Prince, 1985, which is the exact same year that Pat Riley's pose that was chosen for the statue. Pat Riley with the fist up, calling for Magic or whoever, get the ball to Kareem. Get the ball inside to Kareem, and Pat Riley yesterday was immortalized in bronze, wearing the Armani suit with the alligator belt. This is not speculation. These are things that we learned directly from the Lakers. Dave McMenamin's reporting, among others. Pat Riley, the absolute legend for the Lakers, immortalized yesterday, got a statue before the Lakers-Celtics game.
Don't you still wish he was employed by the Lakers?
Wouldn't mind. I mean, look, I will say this. There are people who cover the Heat who wonder at times, like I have heard them wonder at times if Pat Riley leans too much on some of the legend stuff and some of like the legend aura as an exec, and maybe is a little bit behind sort of the modern NBA. I'm not saying they're right or wrong. I'm not close enough to what the Heat do. I'm just saying I've heard that before from people who cover the Heat. But would it be nice? I'll say this, if nothing else, and like a lot of things, time heals all wounds and conflict and whatever. Pat Riley did not seemingly leave the Lakers on the world's greatest terms. Now it seems like things are copacetic. I know a few years ago I interviewed Pat Riley by phone, which, side note, incredibly intimidating. And he could not have been any nicer. He was so nice. It was a piece I wrote for The Athletic about Chick Hearn. And I interviewed a bunch of different people who were either worked with Chick or alongside Chick. I obviously talked with Stu Lance, talked with different announcers. I want to say I talked with Spiro Ditas, like people influenced John Ireland. But I did a phone interview with Pat Riley, and he could not have been any nicer, particularly because he was talking about Chick, and Chick was very much a mentor to him. Pat Riley began in the booth before eventually getting tabbed to coach the team. But even a phone interview with Pat Riley, very, very intimidating experience. But I went through it well. Here's some of what Pat Riley said during the day and his speech with the statue.
When I was told that the kid from Schenectady, New York, would be honored with a statue here in the Plaza of Stars, the Plaza of Legends, I fell to my knees, humbled and sobbed. Tears of joy and gratitude. That statue right there, the one they're going to unveil today, that statue right there is loaded up with all of us who took that magical journey. So with that said, as my father's words to me, they ring out loud and clear today. The time has come to kick some ass, to kick some Boston ass. May God bless you all that are here. Thank you all. Thank you all for coming.
Unfortunately, the Lakers were unable to meet up to Pat Riley's wishes and kick some Boston ass, but it was a really great day. Michael Douglas was the Oscar-winning actor, Hollywood legend Michael Douglas was on the stage among Magic Johnson and Kareem and the others as part of the unveiling, and Michael Douglas confirmed a Hollywood sports industry legend.
Gecko's hairdo came from Pat Riley, and And I was with Pat, went to Miami. We were driving one of his Mercuries with a convertible with the top down. I was sitting in the back seat. And I was looking at Pat driving and said, his hair is not moving. It's a convertible, nothing. And I said, so that's the way that I want to go.
For a long time, people thought that Michael Douglas's Oscar-winning performance, Gordon Gekko in the movie Wall Street, that his look and his aura was...
I never knew this rumor.
Yeah, well, that had been rumored for a long time. I think he has confirmed it in the past, but he certainly confirmed it most recently that, he and Pat Riley became friends during that era. Michael Douglas was massive in the 80s, as was Pat Riley, and that he had modeled the character, like that aura and presentation and the confidence, the swag, after Pat Riley. Take it a step further. You know the movie Tequila Sunrise with Mel Gibson and Kurt Russell and Michelle Pfeiffer?
It's about like a cop, undercover cop, and drug dealing and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It came out in, I believe, 88. It's a fun movie. People should check it out. It's fun. Not only, it's one thing if Kurt Russell, his character, this cop, has slick back hair, dresses in suits, very clearly a Pat Riley look. And this was, no question, modeled after Pat Riley. Take it a step further. The original choice for Kurt Russell's role was not Kurt Russell. It was Pat Riley.
What?
They offered the role to Pat Riley.
What?
Pat Riley turned down the role. But the original choice for this role, Tequila Sunrise, major studio movie with Mel Gibson and Michelle Pfeiffer, first choice won, Pat Riley. Second choice, Kurt Russell at like the height of his stardom.
With Big Trouble in Little China and all that stuff?
Yes.
But what year was that movie, 88?
I believe 88.
This is like in the middle of a repeat, man.
Well, I believe one of the reasons Pat Riley turned it down, other than like not confident he could actually act, was I'm kind of in the middle of something. I'm in the middle of guiding.
It's not like Michael Jordan doing a Space Jam in the summer or something.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm kind of in the middle of something. This is more than me, acting alongside Bugs Bunny and Tweety Bird. Like, this is an actual role. But like, that's how cool Pat Riley was. Like, how much of a genuine icon Pat Riley was. Like, studios wanted to put him in a movie. Like, that's how great he was. Obviously, a legendary coach. Real quick before we go to break, Don, City of Industry. You're on Lakers Talk. What's up, Don?
Andy the K, what is up?
Hey.
Man, oh man. Man, I was just laughing when you were talking about Tequila Sunrise because I was thinking about that too, and I remembered the only problem with that movie was Kurt Russell. I mean, what a fine actor. He nails everything ordinarily. But, man, the hair, they looked like somebody poured axle grease on his hair and just plastered it.
I mean, not everyone can pull off the Riley, Don, Not everyone knows how to do it.
Yeah, that's it. The Gordon Gekko, man, that looked cool. Patent leather all the way.
Yep.
But, as sharp as Riley looked on the outside, and he would have been a natural in movies if he hadn't made it in basketball. But what a great coach. He's absolutely my favorite coach of all time in any sport. He's the man. Because as sharp as he was on the outside, he's even sharper on the inside. Man, that guy was too much. I still have his book somewhere, The Winner Within.
Yep.
And when he coined that phrase, the peripheral opponent, keep out the peripheral opponent. And I thought, God, what a great phrase. Yeah, and this guy, to have rings as a player, a coach, and a front office guy, a team president, for heaven's sake. Yeah, if he wants to go full circle and end where it began, if he feels like leaving the Heat, who could say no? The Godfather. He's the Godfather now. That would be awesome. I doubt it. I don't know if it's possible.
If I had to guess.
Remember one year?
If I had to guess.
Remember when?
Go on.
It wasn't that long ago when. Remember, he even volunteered that he might be willing to come back when the Lakers were really floundering and struggling. I forget when it was exactly. It was some time back, but they were right on the cusp. I forget what it was, what year, but you could probably look it up. But I was like, wow. Well, hey, it's a nice dream. They can't stop us from dreaming, can they?
No, they can't, Don. Appreciate the call, man. And again, it was an awesome day, and it raises the question of who will be next for the Lakers. I think the obvious call is Phil Jackson. Once you've given Pat Riley, given's the wrong word. Once you've honored Pat Riley with a deserved statue, Phil Jackson is just as deserving, and I imagine he would be next just because, given Phil's age and health concerns, you want to make sure that he's able to enjoy this. So I would imagine Phil is next. But is there anybody else that feels either statue worthy or may end up being debated for a statue? Talk about that coming up next. If you want to weigh in, 213-799-0139. Lakers Talk. Andy Kamenetsky, 710 ESPN.
All gas, all Lakers.
Tomorrow night, the spotlight shines bright at Crypto.com Arena. The Los Angeles Lakers are ready to defend the house against the high-flying Orlando Magic.
Here's Luka. Long three. It's good.
The Lake Show Battle the Magic. Coverage begins tomorrow at 6 p.m.
The Lake Show lives here. 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
ESPN LA family, I'm personal injury attorney Joseph S. Normand. 2026 marks 15 years that you've trusted me to represent you when you're hurt and down. I'm honored to fight for you in personal injury cases when it matters most. Numbers don't lie. I'm the real deal. The voice you hear is a voice you get. If you've been injured in an accident, call 213-747-1234, 213-747-1234, or visit normandlegal.com. Normand Legal, built on trust, proven by results.
Hey, this is Rich Eisen.
And ESPN LA is the new home of the Rich Eisen Show in the Southland.
Let's go to Jimmy in San Antonio, one of our favorites. What's up, Jimmy?
¿Qué pasó, hermano?
What's up? Hey.
Man, Rich, people confuse you for Ryan Gosling, but not Josh Lucas. That's horrible.
The home of the Lakers. Now the home of the Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays 9 a.m. to noon, 710 ESPN. And always on the new ESPN LA app.
We're definitely going to be late for kickoff. We should be at the game by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I've got to fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple of towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We missed tailgating because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas. Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the whole first quarter.
Football fans, download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FANS25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FANS25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FANS25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code FANS25.
Mornings at LA start with Sedano and Cap.
I don't feel old. I don't think I look as old, but the numbers are the numbers.
Weekdays starting at 7 a.m. on ESPN LA.
So I don't know, I'm feeling a little weird. Not like depressed or anything, just a little weird. Here's the thing. I find that the best way to feel young is to hang out with people that are older. With one of my
hang out here more noon to 3.
I have a lunch tomorrow with a buddy of mine. He's 84. The other guy that I'm having lunch with tomorrow, he's 82. So if I just keep hanging out with all these old guys, I'm going to continue to feel young.
Do you think you have more in common with the old guys or the young guys?
I kind of feel I can hang with the old guys and feel young, and I can hang with the young guys and feel more mature.
The Morning Show with Sedano and Cap. Weekdays starting at 7 a.m. on ESPN Los Angeles, the ESPN LA app, and streaming live on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles.
This is Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetsky.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute. When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
Now back to Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetsky.
What is the backstory on this song, Funchy?
This is New Edition, My Secret. Came out, I think, in 1985. One of the first I think it came out on the first New Edition album. If you go to YouTube and look up this video, you'll see Magic Johnson and Pat Riley in this video as they call Ralph Tresvant out the stands to play in a Laker game.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're like the NBA DeMarco Farr in the Nelly video.
And I was just telling you in the break, that's as close as to seeing Pat Riley acting.
To the best of my knowledge, I have not checked out Pat Riley's IMDb, like how much of it is not just Pat Riley as himself. But again, he had the opportunity to take on the role that was played by Kurt Russell in the 1988 movie Tequila Sunrise.
I'd rather see Pat Riley in Big Trouble in Little China.
Maybe I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but have you ever seen the movie Breakdown with Kurt Russell?
Yeah, the one where he's great movie.
Great movie. It'd be interesting to see Pat Riley get himself out of a tough jam like that one. All right, so we were talking before. Pat Riley obviously got his statue before the debacle loss yesterday afternoon to the Celtics. It was a great, great ceremony, both before when the statue was unveiled and then the halftime tribute to Pat Riley, emceed by Magic, because of course it was. And it raises, though, the question, as the Lakers outside Crypto.com basically becomes a Lakers museum, which, side note, effing awesome. That is so cool. Like, it really is so cool, because for younger generations, they're going to see those statues and they're going to have questions. And they'll learn about the history by seeing these statues. But the next statue to me is pretty obviously Phil Jaxson. A, because if Pat Riley got a statue of Phil Jaxson, he's just as worthy of a statue. 5 rings with the Lakers. As he was the coach for a decade of dominance. And also, too, I think, without sounding morbid about this, you want to make sure that this happens quick enough that Phil, who's had some health issues, can be there and can enjoy this and, frankly, can sit through it, comfortably. So I would imagine they're going to get on this pretty quickly. It wouldn't. One that I thought was interesting, and I had always wondered if, when the team was owned by the Buss family as the primary, the majority owners, if they had been reluctant to go here just because it would have felt gauche. But Dr. Buss is.
I thought you were going to say Ryan Kelly.
Yes, Ryan Kelly. He's the next one after Phil. But Dr. Buss is clearly worthy of a statue, and I don't think anybody would have objected if, when the Buss family were the majority owners, they decided to give their father a statue. I think everyone's reaction would have been, what took so long? But I could understand why they would be reluctant. But with the Buss family now in the minority seats, I wonder if Dr. Buss could be next. But as far as folks that were on the court, or actually one other guy that has popped to mind to me, Stu Lance. Stu Lance played with the Lakers. He has been part of the broadcast for decades. In any other city that does not have legends like, forget just Chick Hearn, but Vin Scully, Bob Miller, Pete Arbogast, like Jaime Jarrín, like down the line of these just all-time.
How do you do?
How do you do? But like all down the line, like these broadcasters who are decades associated with these high-profile teams. In any other city, Stu Lance is your gold standard. Like, he has been part of a broadcast team for decades in the most popular team, I think, in one of the biggest cities in the world.
We've been involved with their organization for well over 40 years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's, again, not even counting his time as a player. He is very popular. Like, I think fans still love Stu. I know he is not in the formal Basketball Hall of Fame, and that's often the standard. I don't know if anything would shift at all with a broadcaster as opposed to a player or a coach, but Stu has popped to mind. But then you get to players. There's only 2 players that I think right now would be discussed this way. One is potentially James Worthy.
Yes.
And I think you can I don't think James Worthy is a no-brainer, because just so people understand, the standards for a statue need to be high. Like, the standards for having your number retired for a Laker is high. Like, you have to be in the Hall of Fame. Otherwise, they don't do this. You have to be in the Hall of Fame. But then there's the next level, which is statue. And to put this in perspective, the Laker statues right now, Kobe has 2 of them. We'll eventually have 3. Shaq, Kareem, Magic, West, Baylor. Those are your players. And then the retired numbers that do not have statues: Jamal Wilkes, Michael Cooper, James Worthy, Pau Gasol, Gail Goodrich, Wilt Chamberlain. And then George Mikan, but that's sort of its own weird thing because Minneapolis. James Worthy, 3 championships, Finals MVP in '88, longtime part of the Lakers broadcast. He is exceptionally popular among fans. If you've ever met James Worthy, he's just a great guy.
Nicest guy.
He is so nice to everybody. And I also think the basketball fans who know the history of the game, history of the franchise, realize James Worthy could have been a number 1 for other teams. He played the game that he needed to play with the Lakers, but then, again, something like 88 Finals MVP showed he could be that dude when you needed it. I think a case can be made for James Worthy. I don't know if it's open and closed, ironclad, but I think it can be made. The only other player that I think would get discussed, at least potentially, would be LeBron. LeBron is obviously one of the all-time greats. You can make an argument. I'm not looking to debate it, but you can make an argument for him as greatest of all time. Again, I'm not looking to argue it, debate it. I find GOAT debates boring. But LeBron has clearly had that level of career. He's been with the Lakers now 8 years. He's won a championship. And he is LeBron James. Like Genie's already said, his number is going to be retired, and as well it should be. Like, he won a championship, Finals MVP with the Lakers. He became the all-time scoring leader with the Lakers. When it's all said and done, he's going to hold several Lakers records. His jersey's going to be retired. That's a no-brainer. But as far as a statue, I got to be honest, I don't think he's statue-worthy.
Really?
The reason being, I don't think his time with the Lakers has been impactful enough for this particular franchise's standards. And the standards are insanely high. Like, he's going to get a statue in Cleveland. He's going to get a statue in Miami. No-brainer. Like, what he has meant to those organizations cannot even be debated. But the standard for the Lakers, like, again, let me name you the guys that have been immortalized as statues. Kobe, Shaq, Kareem, Magic, West, Baylor. And I know Elgin Baylor never had a championship, but he was with the Lakers forever. And there was a period where, I mean, Chick has said he thought Elgin Baylor was the best player he's ever seen. And Elgin Baylor was a lifer with the Lakers. He's a big part of their history.
Yeah, but I think a lot of other people remember him as the de facto GM of the Clippers.
Well, he wasn't de facto. It was actually his job.
De facto guy running it,
right,
instead of Donald Sterling.
Yeah, maybe they did this to Elgin as a way of saying, we're sorry for what you went through. Here's a statue. Which, by the way, Elgin would have earned it. Like, all those years with the Clippers, you earned yourself a statue with the Lakers, my friend. But again, the Lakers in the rafters who do not have statues: Jamal Wilkes, Michael Cooper, James Worthy, Pau Gasol, Gail Goodrich, Wilt Chamberlain. And Wilt is interesting to me because Wilt's career with the Lakers is the one that I find the closest comp to LeBron's. End of Wilt's career, one championship. He is not thought of, I think, primarily as a Laker in the same way LeBron is not primarily thought of as a Laker.
No, but if you made an all-time Lakers team, he's on your all-time Laker team.
But he wouldn't be a starter.
He wouldn't be a starter. I know.
He wouldn't be a starter. He would make the squad.
The rod, yes.
As would I think LeBron. I think LeBron would make the squad. But his time with the Lakers has not included nearly as much winning as Wilt's did. Wilt only one championship like LeBron.
He won off the floor.
Well,
if you know what I mean.
Oh, yes, he did. Oh, he was a champion of the city. I mean, the reason he may not have a statue just is because if you really wanted to depict it, it might not be safe for work. Like, I don't know if you can actually make a suitable statue for Wilt that the kids can see. But, like, Wilt actually, in his 5 seasons with the Lakers, never made it any less in the Western Conference Finals. Like, he went to the finals 4 times and then won Western Conference Finals, won one championship. I realize his teams were more stacked than LeBron's, but this is the way it worked out. But also just, I don't think LeBron has meant as much to this franchise's history, and certainly to the fans of the franchise, whether you think that's fair to LeBron or not. Again, there's a line of delineation. It's a statue. Like, just so people don't misinterpret it. It is not a dig at LeBron or hating LeBron to say he has not earned a again, it's a statue. Like, it has to be really damn high. I don't. What do you think?
I literally think LeBron's going to get one, man. I think he's going to get one in all the places he played.
Well, okay. That's a prediction that he will. Do you think he should, though? With the Lakers, specifically. Miami and Cleveland's no brainer.
I mean, if you're stacking, championships, then yes. But has a guy within the lore of the organization, has Jerry West and Elgin Baylor? I mean, I can't say he has.
Right.
But
that again, like, and this really speaks to just the richness of the Lakers franchise history. Like, something I always say, you can make a stronger argument for Kareem as the GOAT, like greatest of all time. And I think, again, GOAT conversations bore me, but I think Kareem has a real case for GOAT. I think the answer is either Jordan, LeBron.
If you're over
Kareem.
60, Kareem is your GOAT.
Right. Like, and again, I guess Bill Russell, just the pure winning and his impact. But personally, I would say it's either Jordan, Kareem, or LeBron. Again, I don't care who you choose. But I think you can make a much stronger case for Kareem as the GOAT than the GLOAT, the greatest Laker of all time. Because as you look to split hairs, Kareem was not a lifer. Magic or Kobe or West, who I think would be the choices, probably Magic or Kobe.
I got a dark horse name for you, and you'll probably laugh at me when I say this guy's name. Mitch Kupchak.
As the GOAT?
No,
or
has
the GLOAT?
a guy that gets a statue outside.
Mitch is not going to get a statue.
I mean, he was an architect of those teams.
He was, but he's not going to get a statue. I like Mitch.
Who's more likely to get a statue, LeBron or Mitch Kupchak?
LeBron.
Okay.
The politics alone of LeBron. I mean, Mitch was a successful GM. Like, to be clear,
I think he's more important to the franchise and the franchise history than LeBron as of right now.
That is true. That actually, if you look at everything that was encompassed in Mitch's time, you could argue that he was more important between his time with Showtime and also his time as a front office exec, both working alongside West and then as the head guy. You can argue that he was more impactful than LeBron. There's no way in hell Mitch Kupchak's getting a statue before LeBron James. Like, that's not going to happen. You can argue it should, shouldn't, whatever. Real quick, JJ and Belmont Shores. I got about maybe 30 seconds for you, but what do you got, JJ?
Oh, God, you guys got me totally off what I wanted to talk about. Funchy, Mitch Kupchak? Are you serious?
I appreciate their Funchy. Appreciate the confidence.
About trading Reeves. And I think we should get Westbrook, save the money, and get another big man. What do you think?
JJ, I appreciate the call. You cannot bring Russell Westbrook back here. You cannot sell that. That cannot work. It has not worked for Russ in multiple teams since the Lakers. Like, I have a lot of respect for Russell Westbrook.
Very world tour for Russell.
I think I actually think Russ's prime was not. Yeah, I know he won an MVP, but I think it is in retrospect not appreciated as much as it should be. I also love what Russell Westbrook means to LA and how much that dude loves this city, and he's given back. He's helped charter schools stay around. Like, Russell Westbrook, I love everything about him in LA. He cannot be a Laker again. That cannot work. It's frankly not fair to Russ. You cannot do that. All right. As always, we close out with a little crunch time. Funch's got the topics. He and I will bat them around. Lakers talk. Andy Kamenetsky, 710 ESPN.
All gas, all Lakers.
Tomorrow night, the spotlight shines bright at Crypto.com Arena. The Los Angeles Lakers are ready to defend the house against the high-flying Orlando Magic.
Here's Luka, long three. It's good.
The Lake Show Battle the Magic. Coverage begins tomorrow at 6 p.m.
The Lake Show lives here. 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
It's calling.
First of all,
A driving force from within. Pushing, beating, rising to the surface. The time has come to let it out. And ignite the flame that sparks revolution. AEW Revolution. Live Sunday, March 15th from Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles. Tickets on sale now at AEWTIX.com.
It's DeMarco Farr and Travis Rogers for your afternoon drive.
I could do a volleyball in high school because my hand's not big enough to hold a basketball.
Yes.
And I could barely get up that
I got one dunk.
Two hands or one?
Jumping vertically is just never. You see this back here? It's not meant to leave the ground.
You're talking, everybody out there on radio, he's pointing at the caboose.
Yes, it goes
he's
that
got
way.
the junk in the trunk, Oral. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, you know what? I hear it's big.
DeMarco and Travis have taken over Afternoon Drive. Weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on 710 ESPN.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
In LA, the spotlight always shines bright. Two of the game's most electrifying forces are leading the charge for the purple and gold. The power and legacy of the King.
Here come the Lakers on a fast break. LeBron down the middle, slam dunk.
The creativity and swagger of Luka.
Luka, another three. Good again!
Together they lead the Lake Show on the chase for banners. This is Lakers basketball on your home for the purple and gold, ESPN Los Angeles.
It's crunch time on Lakers Talk.
When the clock is ticking and it's all coming down to the wire, you know what that means.
This is crunch time.
Okay, as always, we close out with some crunch time. Funchy's got the topics. I shall weigh in. What you got there, Funchy?
So ESPN.com, they came out with a big article today trying to predict Team USA's roster for 2028.
A roster?
Based on age and, you know, how good they are and whatever. I'm going to just read you off their finished 12-man roster, okay? All right, so we got Cooper Flagg, Con Knipple, Jalen Duran, Amen Thompson, Scotty Barnes, Cade Cunningham, Anthony Edwards, Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, Tyrese Halliburton, Bam Adebayo, and Jason Tatum.
It's a hell of a squad. That's a really, really good squad. I like the looks of it. It's a lot of switchy dudes, a lot of dudes who can defend. Between Bam and Chet and Jalen Duran, good luck scoring around the rim. I like that group. I think by the time they're in, I guess it would be year 3, both Cooper Flagg and Con Knipple are going to be good. And Con Knipple, for those who have not gotten the memo, he's more than just a shooter. Like, that dude can actually just play.
He leads the league in three-point field goals, I believe.
Yep, but beyond that, like, he's a good rebounder. He can put the ball on the floor. Like, he is a good player.
Now, this is where we have a wrinkle.
Okay.
A wrinkle. Now, today, Kevin Durant was asked about the prospects of playing in 2028, and he basically said he wants to play in 2028. Right. And he said, you know, LeBron said he wasn't playing. You didn't hear that from me or Steph.
Right.
So where do you think Steph Curry or Kevin Durant fall in this 2028 Team USA team, if they even do?
I mean, look, it is hard to predict for sure because at their age, with their mileage and the increasing injuries, it's hard to – you can't say for sure. It's why I always say LeBron, I believe him when he says he does not know what he wants to do next year because I don't think there's any way he can know, like for sure, much less actually map it out at his age. I think if Durant wants to play and he's still playing at a good enough level to merit it, out of respect, they'll put him on there in the same way that, you know, Carmelo Anthony, for his dedication to the Olympics, I think could have kept playing for as long as he wanted to. I I would be surprised if Steph wanted to do it, and LeBron's already said he's out. So I think
Steph might want to do it. He only has one. Compared to his contemporaries who have at least
he's really only done it once?
I mean, he was supposed to play in 2020, but
COVID, right?
Yeah.
See, I thought Steph had done it more than once.
No, he hasn't done it. No, he hasn't done. He only done it one time.
That could change the math, and then who you leave off could start getting into some dicey
And plus,
territory.
that might be a good farewell tour for Steph. To go out with a gold medal.
It certainly could be. I feel like you got to put Halliburton on this roster just so he actually gets. He was such a good sport. He was such a good sport about not playing or really being the 12th man who.
And he was really before his injury, a top 7 player in the world.
Tyrese Halliburton can play, man. That guy is a good player, and he's a big game.
One omission from the team, though, that I can't believe is not on a team is Devin Booker.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a little bit older at that time. But
I think that's what it is he's starting to get older. He's starting to get more injury prone. You may leaving him off. It might have been a prediction of where his game's going to be in a couple of years, but it might have also just been getting ahead of the idea that Devin Booker would say thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah. He's that guy.
Well,
I think he's that guy.
He's a great player, but he is increasingly getting hurt a lot.
And I think he enjoys his summers.
He's got a lot of cars to fix up, man.
Got a lot of cars to fix up, man.
He loves him a vintage car, man.
I know those lowriders. Oh man,
dude,
I see him rolling around to the games and stuff
I'm
like that.
not a car guy. His cars are awesome.
I'm not a car guy either, but I love lowriders.
Look, Cooper Flagg, Con Knipple, Jalen Duren, Amon Thompson, Scotty Barnes, Cade Cunningham, Ant, Chet, Jalen Williams, Tyrese Halliburton, Bam, Jason Tatum. Assuming all those guys are healthy, I would feel pretty confident about that crew. Although, you're going to be taking on Shea from Canada. You're going to be taking on
Wemby from France.
It is It's only getting harder, man. It is only getting more difficult to do this. Thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight, whether you were listening, whether you were watching on YouTube. Appreciate you as always for being here. Thank you as always to Momo. Well, thank you as always to Momo, period. But thank you specifically to Momo for showing up tonight. Thank you to the kids in the back with the social media. Obviously, thanks to Funchy. Next week, we will be back Wednesday. I believe just an hour show, but we will be back next Wednesday. Lakers Talk, 710 ESPN.
Mason in Ireland.
I'm going to do something today, just because it'll be interesting.
What? The OGs of LA Sports Radio.
I'm going into the YouTube chat. Oh! I'm going into the YouTube